Hello everyone. By reading this title, you could obviously by seeing I don't hate working actually. I try to enjoy work. But what really gets me is really bad management. But let me just tell you my situation first. I've been working for about a few months. I would say at best probably I think 7 months. But I just basically just entered the workforce. But in all honesty, I try to enjoy work as much as I can because obviously no one really likes working, but I try to make the best of it and be optimistic most of the time or all the time. I just think of it as no pain, no gain. And this video isn't really made to talk bad about my job or even about my coworkers, but I hope many people watching this video will agree with me or even just, I guess, relate in a sense. I keep hitting my mic. But I feel like the real reason why Gen Z doesn't want to work at like a 9 to 5 or an hourly wage job is it's whether it's because it, they don't want to work in a shitty work environment or being paid like I wouldn't say minimum wage or deal with just bad managers in general. But I don't want to make this feel like an attack on people who work hard every day, but the people who are miserable at work and also taking on people who just want to work. It's just crazy how many people you will meet like this in a job place. Just people who are, I wouldn't say miserable, but people who are just tired and just are just because you're new, they take it out on you. It's just unbelievable. And you might be just saying, "Oh, that's just life," and yeah, it is. But like, that's just crazy to me. Just because you're miserable doesn't mean you have to take it as someone else and just put your misery onto their life. Like I met pretty much miserable people at my workplace and I try to not be fazed by it. Some days I do get fazed by it, but not at work. And it's pretty it's pretty crazy that there is miserable people, very miserable people, and people who just want to take it out on you, you know? Quite surprising to see that and to experience that, to enter the workforce and then just get, I wouldn't say treated like shit, but it, well, it kind of is being treated like shit a little, but I'm not here just to whine about it. Alright, now let me just tell you about my situation. I work at a fast food place. They hired me. They hired me when I didn't have a food handler's card. In the state of California, that just means you can't cook, but you can cook within 30 days if I'm correct. In state law, I could probably put a picture up, but it just means you can't cook unless you have a food handler certificate or card. But it's illegal in the state of California to preparate food and all that stuff, to cook, preparate food, or just to work with food in the back in the kitchen in California. But my boss hired me without one. In the state of California, if you hired someone without a food handler's card, it's illegal, and I think the employer gets a fine and within 30 days, yeah. But my boss is not the sharpest tool in the shed, uh, and she hired me. But it doesn't help the fact that when you have a boss that says someone else can do your job better than you, you're too slow. Why do I have to do your job for you? Oh, don't take nothing personal. Just shut up and listen. You know, how can I not hate my job or not going to work when you're just saying that I'm basically nothing? You're a nobody, and I'm just replaceable. And I know this is my first job, and I know I am learning things. Like, my manager is not patient at all with me. She's the opposite of patience. She wants things quick, done. And I don't know if that's really how it is in every fast food place, you know? It doesn't really help my self-confidence. You know, it's not really helping me learn how to do my job well. The funny thing is that the people in the back are really the ones that are teaching me, even though they're not really like the assistant manager or the head chef, you know. It's just the people come and go, you know, help me, tips and tricks. And you know, you could be saying, stop putting the blame on you, you know? Yeah, you're honestly right. I'm not that good, but still, I want to learn and I want to get better at my job. So in order I could be comfortable and be confident in what I do, I want to get better. But it doesn't help when the manager is just saying, why am I doing your job for you, you know? Or you're too slow. Funny thing is, a week later, after I got my food handlers done from my assistant manager that was helping me, not my general manager, I got a call to help another store out. And yeah, and when I came there, it was actually, they were actually pretty more helpful, and I was pretty hesitant to not go because I was like, I don't want to go to another workplace, you know. And but I said to myself, oh, I need that dinero, you know, I need that money. And of course, I went to the other store to help. And honestly, when I went over there, they were actually more helpful and more, I wouldn't say patient, but they were more. It was more of a healthier environment, and also they were more, I would say, happier. But a question I always say to myself when every time I'm like working my shifts is that is every workplace kind of like this? Is it? Did I just get a rare case and unlucky with a bad manager? You know, the funny thing is that I prayed and prayed to God that I got a job, and you know, well, obviously I don't hate working, but it just feels like a death sentence uh, going to work. You know, some who makes you like someone who makes your job worse and a nightmare. And I don't hate my manager because I feel like everyone kind of gets like that when you've been working your whole life under a company. But I could be wrong, you know. When you work for a company half your whole life, and you know, fast food is your whole life, you know. But I hope I can find a better job soon. But also, I know in life it's always going to be tough, hard, and competitive. And I know there's always someone else that has it worse than me. And, you know, I think someone in the comments is going to talk about their experience. But the whole point of this video is just sharing my experience and just, you know, just talking about. It's just more like a coping mechanism than for me. But I really just gotta suck it up in life, you know? But also, thanks for watching.